Hey everybody, this is just another quick update to share with you our plans. We are leaving in a couple of days. Myself and Natasha are flying out to Bulgaria on Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. I would like to share with you our plans for the upcoming mission trip, do a quick recap from the mission trip that we have just returned home from. First of all, I'm going to start with Gagina because this has been quite a shocking story actually. A young mum who was assaulted by her husband. He has been arrested. Her youngest son is still in hospital, but he has survived. She was quite severely beaten, went into labour, gave birth 3 months premature, and her baby, Mircho, has been moved to a closer hospital. He was in the capital, which was 4 hours away. He's now in a closer hospital, and his condition is stable. He was born at the beginning of July. So he's now almost 4 months old, so he is doing extremely well. But Gagina was assaulted again and has been left with a broken jaw. She was rushed to hospital. It's a very severe break in her mouth. I will put up a picture, so trigger warning for anybody that does not want to see Gagina's broken jaw. Please look away for 10 seconds now. So the hospital turned her away because she hasn't paid her health insurance ever, and she didn't have any money to pay for her medicine or an operation. She was discharged from the hospital and sent home in the condition that she was in. So she reached out to us for some help, and of course we instantly started fundraising. We reached out on Facebook, I think on Facebook only, because we were having some issues with YouTube during the last couple of mission trips. So we reached out and started fundraising for Gagina to not pay for her upcoming operation. And I would just like to share with you now that there was more obstacles. She needed ID, she needed to pay some outstanding fines before she could pick up her ID. Her health insurance debt, which was about £1,000, has been cleared, and we're quite close to raising the money to pay for her first operation. We did at the beginning just think that she was going to need the one, but it's going to be more than that. But so please be praying for Gagina. As the weather changes, the pain in her mouth is obviously going to get worse. She's been through a horrific ordeal and is coping very well, but we were absolutely horrified by the level of help and care that she received. So thank you to everybody who reached out to bless Gagina financially. We really appreciate everybody that jumped in on that. It was very quick that we raised the money, especially when we were trying to clear her health insurance debt so that she could get seen at the hospital. That was really fantastic. We are still fundraising for Gagina. We are not out of the woods on this one yet. So if you feel led to contribute towards her care and operations, please mark your donation Gagina. So the other projects that we are working on at the moment obviously is building a hub down at the dump, which has been such an amazing blessing to have. We have been already, even though it is not even close to being finished, we've already been using the hub to distribute food and clothing. In fact, we have hired 4 women that were born and raised down at the dump. Some of them are actually even widows from that horrific accident that happened when 4 men were killed last year. So we have hired 4 extra women. So we have doubled up on food. So even though it is a blessing that we now have 125 children sponsored, the potential is there to absolutely double instantly. If the sponsors are out there, we are already feeding more than double the children that are sponsored regularly with our 2 teams, the 4 women that live down at the dump and the team at Bojadar's house distributing to other areas, the cul-de-sac, the alley, to Babakina, and to other streets that we have just recently visited. And so we haven't even named these streets yet. I think we're going to call one Middle Street because it's right in the middle of Nadezhda, but then there is 3 other streets, and literally only a couple of children on each of these streets are sponsored, but the need is huge. So do reach out. We are expanding at the moment. Friends, I have to stress to you the fact that we are exceeding budget with the sponsorship every month, and the reason is the cost of living over the last couple of years has probably more than doubled. We have not put the cost of sponsorship up at all. We are still splitting sponsorship 3 ways. That was 4 fingers. we are still splitting the cost of sponsorship 3 ways. It's £30 a month. We use £10 of that on our staff wages, and our staff are born and raised in Nadezhda, and it's life-changing for them to have some income. 1/3 of the money goes towards the cost of food, and 1/3 of the money goes towards clothes and other things that the children need. We buy all sorts of things, a head lice treatment, we buy baby supplies, we buy arts and craft and masses of things, and obviously it costs more than £10 per child per month to cover that cost. So if anyone just feels led to donate into general fund, it bumps up what we are able to do. Also, our Amazon list is helping us with this problem that we have exceeding budget each month, and it is full of goodies that we use, including baby milk is the most popular actually, and head lice treatment. We will drop the link to the Amazon list in the comments. So the hub, as it stands, we have completed the roof. We are yet to complete the bathroom, and we need 2 doors and we need 2 windows, because we need a front door and a door to the bathroom, and then there's 2 holes for windows. We need to put flooring down in the hub. We need to paint the hub. And we need to install a toilet and a shower and a boiler and tiles and blah, 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 and a pump. And me and Natasha are going to be out in Nadezhda for 10 days. And we would be so blessed if we could. I mean, we're down to make it happen, but we've got 0 funds for building at the moment. And after this mission trip, a pechka, we also need to put in a wood burning stove because it's going to get cold. After the temperature actually drops tomorrow quite a lot. It's getting cold out in Nadezhda. It seems that we're going to be taking the cold weather with us, so we will really knuckle down and work hard to get the hub finished if the funds come in. We need about £2,000 to finish, maybe a little bit more, because we've got to consider labour as well. So yeah, if anybody feels led to help us finish the hub, that would be an absolute blessing, because then we will be able to use it through the winter months whilst it's cold. December, I'm jumping the gun here because we are going out for Mission Trip November, and I have all of the goodies already on its way. The shipment has left my house already. More than half a ton of provision has left from my house and Natasha's house, and is already making its way to Bulgaria, so it should arrive the day after we do. So that will be fantastic. We've got everything that we need for all of the children to receive their pocket money clothes. I've just broken my pen. And masses of other clothing that we can hand out. We have been given some information that there is a small community, a small neighbourhood near Nadezhda that are desperate for some help. They're living without electricity and water. So if we are able to, we will check it out. But we're going to need some extra prayer cover this trip, because we're not going to have a translator, because Bojidar is on a mission elsewhere. So it's going to be very interesting how things roll out. Sharik's house. Now, Sharik is one of the young men that distributes food for Team Hope, and he has been building his own house. He's 17, and he's not actually building it himself, but he's at the stage similar to where the hub is at, actually. In fact, we're just ahead of him because we have plastered. He's done the brick, he's done the electric, he's got doors and windows as well, and the roof is on, but he's run out of finance, and he, again, before it gets cold, is asking if, we can help with a little bit of plaster. So really we only need a couple of $100 or £150 for some plaster. He's such a blessing to Hope in Bulgaria. They are a blessing and they go above and beyond. So it would be really great to bless Sharik. If anybody feels led to contribute towards that, please mark your donation Sharik. Okay, last mission trip. It came to our attention that a new area we've recently been visiting with food distributions and clothing, and now we've got about 10 children down there. This is the alley sponsored. It came to our attention that all of the families living down at the alley are living off of a trickle drip of water. The water supply is such a slow flow. They reached out and asked us for help, and so we have agreed to dig up the alley, install new bigger pipes, and this is happening at the moment. It is a work in progress, but the men that live at the alley are doing the labour, so we're not paying labour, we're just paying for the materials. So this project is already happening, and hopefully I'll be able to put out some footage of that for you whilst I am on mission. December, the trip after this trip, we plan to hand out coats and gifts for the children. I am asking people to donate good quality secondhand coats, and I do have quite a lot already. I have been picking up coats in the sales and in charity shops, thrift stores, and for the last 3 or 4 mission trips we have been taking out coats and also hats, gloves and scarves and toys and storing it at our apartment in Bulgaria. So we do already have way more than 100 coats, but there are 37,000 people living in Nadezhda, and it is going to be very cold soon. It literally has been as cold as minus 26 degrees when I have been out there myself, and so it is extreme cold weather. So we would like to gift all of our sponsored children with a gift in December, and as many children as possible with a coat. And so yeah, a contribution towards that would be a real blessing. So long as the money comes in, I will shop, I'll go and buy the coats. My life is dedicated to serving Nadezhda, you know, nothing is too much bother for me there. So I'm just going to quickly, before I say goodbye, give you a quick update on Mission Trip September, which was amazing. Friends, I was out in Nadezhda for almost a month, and Jenny joined me for the first, I think it was 10 days, and then Natasha came out for the last 2 weeks, and it was absolutely amazing to have that much time out in Bulgaria. We have 8 cooks on our payroll right now, friends, and it is incredible because the pots are huge, the women are dedicated, we've got a massive group of young teenage boys that are dedicated to help distribute, and it really is, you know, an amazing work. It's a blessing, it's a privilege to watch and to help, to see, you know, how they pull it together, and yeah, really fantastic. So many children are being fed regularly. We handed out 1/2 ton of clothing, shoes, toys, baby supplies. Flagging, we have a huge collection now of flags. We have a flag that says Yahweh, we have a flag that says Jesus in Bulgaria, we have a couple of Line of Judah flags, lots of flags that are homemade, that a lovely lady at my local church blessed us with, and we march the streets, we offer prayer to people, and I also worshipped on the roof of Hope Hub, and it was a very emotional and wonderful and spirit-filled, powerful time, just claiming, you know, his protection and his sovereignty over the hub, over the dump and over Nadezhda. And so yeah, I hope that the flagging blesses you. It's something that's very new to me, although my mission trip partner Natasha has been flagging her whole life, and it is something that we will be bringing in to mission trips regularly. The children are skilled in dance, they love to worship, and so it just seems like the most appropriate thing, you know, to be doing. So that has been a total blessing. Babakina, she had a breakthrough with her family. She has told us multiple times in the past that she doesn't want sponsors for her grandchildren because she doesn't like that the family that live next door her is her son and his children, and she complains that they are aggressive and mean to her, and there's a lot of oppression and addiction going on in that household, and that they really harass her and give her a hard time, and so she would get offended if I would even spend time with them or offer them prayer. And so I had been speaking to her for months about forgiveness, and when I went to visit her in September, there was a really free feeling in her house, and I said, Baba, you know, what's been happening? And she said that she had decided to pray for her grandson, who was 16, and he'd been troubling her the most, daily, her other son, as you all know, received deliverance and healing a couple of months ago. But, you know, her grandson, who was 16, Demeter, had been giving her a really hard time, and he was really struggling. And so she had just decided to pray for him daily. And she said one day he just came in and sat and prayed with her, and now they pray together every day. And she said that, you know, there's no war in that family now. She has forgiven them, and they don't act any kind of bad way towards her anymore. There's a real shift, a real change in that household. And so glory to God, you know. And she has allowed me to take pictures of her grandchildren. Sorry, they weren't all in, but the ones that were, I took pictures, and she said that she's happy for me to look for sponsors. So it will be a real privilege for me to be able to go back and tell her that her grandchildren are sponsored, and I've only got 2 days. And so far, none of them are yet. So if you feel led to sponsor, right now would be the perfect time, because Babakina's grandchildren are now available for sponsorship. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for your support. We will be posting lots of videos over the next couple of weeks from inside the ghetto, and obviously down at Hope Hub. And yeah, be watching and be praying for us, and reach out with any questions, prayer requests, or if you feel led to sponsor a child. Thank you so much. God bless you, and I will see you soon.